All right, so welcome to another video here. We're looking at Have You Met Miss Jones? And we've reached the bridge in this video. So, yeah, so if you haven't already checked out those other videos, check those out on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/fretprince. And remember to subscribe. I've got a lot of things coming out, including how to play songs and melodies and some play along with pattern things too. So be sure to check those out. All right, so we're in the key of F here. So I will start by writing that out. Okay, and currently we could think about the key of B flat. So in the key of F, this is going to be the 4 chord. In B flat, it would be the 1 chord. And in the previous video, we saw that we had a 2-5-1 progression in B flat. So that's how we're arriving at that. All right, so we'll line up a B flat here. And we'll spell some things out. So here's a B flat major 7. Okay, I'm gonna spell this out relative to B flat major here. Okay, since we had this chord set up with a 2-5, it's pretty clearly B flat. All right, so let's try a voicing. Okay, so we have this one here. All right, so on this other screen, I'm going to just simply display the voicing we're talking about with the root note there. All right, so let's look at our next chord here. All right, so we're going to keep spelling things out from F because that's the key of their overall key of the song or the tune. And you can see here that looks like we're going to G flat or F sharp. So since I've got G flat, or since there's G flat written there, I'll spell that out in G flat. But this this key area has 2 key signatures. All right, so we'll go with G flat here. So we have A flat minor 7. All right, so I'm going to start by ascending upwards here so that we can see the kind of gradual descending motion. So let's line up A flat. So we got A flat. All right, we need a minor sound here, and this is going to be a Dorian sound. So it's the 2. All right, so let's write that out down here. So this is the 2 in G flat, and it's going to be the flat 3 in F. All right, so let's write that in down here. So we're going to send this root note way up here to A flat on the 5th string. Okay. Flat 3rd, flat 7, and then the 9. All right, let me highlight that up here. All right, so there we go. A flat minor 9. All right, so let's bring in the D flat. So we need a major 3rd. We've got the flat 7, so that's looking pretty good. Mixolydian. All right, so let's go with this voicing here. So the root note will descend by 5th. The flat 3rd will become the flat 7. The flat 7 will become the 3rd. And then we could even leave this 9 here. It would become the 13, but let's send it down to the 5. Okay. So when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about the chord change. So A flat minor to D flat 7. All right. So the D flat is the 5 chord in G flat. And it's the flat 6 in F. All right, so let's look at our next chord. So we have a 1 in G flat, and we have a flat 2 in F. All right, so let's get the G flat lined up here. And make sure we have a major 7. All right, so let's go with the G flat major 9. All right, so let's change our voicing here. We have the root note goes up a 4th. The flat 7 goes down a half step to the 3rd. The 3rd of the previous chord, D flat, will stay there. That'll become the major 7 of the G flat. And then the 5th will stay in place, and that will become the 9 of the G flat. All right, so let's look at what we have next here. All right, so let's set up our keys again. So looking at everything from F, and then this next area is going to be in D. So it's going to be the same relative progression. So we're going to have the 2 here. The E is the 7. All right, so let's get the E going. So you're going to see here as we go to E, so I'll set up chord scale here. This is Dorian again, E Dorian. This idea of larger steps, right? So you can see that in a lot of the progression, we have these whole steps and half steps. And sometimes things notes will remain the same, or voices will remain the same. So here we are going to the roots are going to move a little differently. The tonic chord for each of these keys is going to be a major third away, so those are larger steps. All right, so let's find a voicing. Great, so now what we'll see is all these notes are going to descend. Nothing is really going to remain the same. So the root will go down a whole step. Okay, this third will go down minor third to become the third of this chord. This will go down a minor third as well. So that's a 7, becomes a 7. The 9, it will be a 9. All right, so there we have the 2 chord in D, the E minor 9. All right, so let's look at the A7. So the A7 is going to be the 5 in D, and it's the 3rd in F. All right, so let's get that going. So A, we'll need a major third here. We've got the flat 7. All right, so we have Mixolydian. And of course, keep in mind, I mentioned this before. I don't think I mentioned this on this video, but I'm only going over, one basic option. So there are other things, of course, that you can do here. So this is not to be taken as the only thing to do, but it gives us an analysis and some good perspective on seeing how voices move. All right, so let's spell out that. Okay, so we got the A7. Let's send this down 5th. Again, the flat 3rd will become the flat 7. The flat 7 will descend to the 3rd. And in this case, we'll take the 9 and descend to the 5th. So we have the A flat 7, or A7 rather. All right, so let's get into the second half of the bridge here. All right. Okay, so we're going to D. All right. So let me spell out keys we're talking about here. So we've got F, and currently we're looking at D. All right, so it's going to be the sixth chord in F. This is major in this case. And it's going to be the one chord in D. All right, so this is going to look pretty similar to the previous key here. So bring in the D and major, one major 7. And we'll look at a voicing here. Okay. So the root note will go up a fourth. Flat 7 will descend to the 3. Third will become the major 7, and fifth will become the 9. All right, so next up, we are going back to G flat here. All right, so we've got A flat is going to be the 2 in G flat. And it's going to be the flat 3 in F. So let's bring that up here. So we'll look at a different place to play this than we did a minute ago. Okay, so we need a minor third. We need a flat 7. Okay, and then create a voicing here. So we'll play this. All right, so this root note will go down a tritone. This third will remain the same. That will become the flat 7. The 7 will descend to the third, and the 9 will descend to the fifth. All right, so D flat now. D flat again is the 6. In this case, it's major. And let's see, and they're 5. Oh, sorry, flat 6. That's why I thought something was amiss there. Yeah, flat 6. Okay, so let's check out that change. So we'll bring in D flat. And so we want this chord to be major. Everything's looking good there. So we have Mixolydian again. And all right, so let's highlight it first. So we're going to have root 3, flat 7, and 9. All right, so the root note is going to go up a fourth. The flat 7 will descend by half step to the third. The flat third will become the flat 7, and the fifth will become the 9. All right, so G flat is the flat 2 in F, and it's the 1 here in G flat. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so G flat, so that's Ionian. Before I do that, I'll highlight them. So I'm mentioning some of the modes, partly just because I did a video the other day about it, a live stream. So it's really kind of an easy way of just really letting you know, or letting oneself even know, what's. So if I say Ionian, then that just has a certain, that sort of spells out all the 7 notes. You can just use one word to spell out the 7 notes. So it's pretty convenient. All right, so the root will descend by fifth. The third will become the major 7. The flat 7 will become the third, and then the 9 become the fifth. All right, great. So we've reached pretty much. We're almost at the end of the bridge here. So this next part, I'm going to simply spell out relative to F, since it's going back to F. There's not really another key to talk about there. So the G is going to be the 2. All right, so we'll have some kind of interesting motion here. Let's see, we're looking for G, looking for Dorian. Okay, so spell that out here. All right, so in this case, the root note will go up by half step. The major 7 will become the flat 7. The major third will become the flat third. And then we move this, we'll move this note up to the 5th. So the 5th remains the 5th. It moves up by half step. All right, so let's see. What do we have next here? We have C7, so that's going to be the 5. All right, so we're looking at this. Let's Mixolydian. Root 3, flat 7, and 9. So the root note will go up a fourth. Flat 7 descends to the third. Flat third becomes the flat 7, and the 5 becomes the 9. All right, so then this is going to go to F next. So why don't we just write that one in just to kind of complete this 2-5. So 3, we need a major 7. All right, so the root goes down a 5th. The 3rd becomes a 7. The flat 7 descends to the 3rd. And then the 9 descends to the 5th. So there we have the beginning of the next 4 measures. All right, great. So you can see I've got some interesting movement here. Those key areas. We have, remember we had the B flat, we had the D, and the F sharp or G flat. Okay, so those are all a major 3rd apart from one another. All those key areas. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Is it too basic? Is it too complicated? Things like that. And yeah, so you can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And you can reach me at fretprince.com. And I'm all set up for Skype style lessons, which work really great. And it's great to do that and supplement it with the videos on YouTube, so you have a little bit of one-on-one interactions. So a teacher can see what you're doing, little things you might not realize that you're doing that might not be so great. All right. Well, thanks again for watching. Subscribe, like the video, leave a comment. Thanks again.